Hey everybody, welcome to the Fight Network studios. This is Fight News Now Extra. I'm John Ramdeen, he's Robin Black. Next weekend, all the action goes down in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. 3 shows, man, all leading up to the main event between Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo. And do you get a sense where people are going with this fight? Because I think there's a lot of hardcore fight fans, martial artists that think that Jose Aldo is the second coming of Christ. Just a remarkable talent, and that Conor McGregor is just overhyped. And then there's other martial artists that look at the movement of Conor McGregor and they see that, you talk about growth mentality, they see his growth, they see that he is dealing with all the pressure of being under the spotlight, and that it's kind of taking away from the fact that he's actually a remarkable martial artist. Are you getting a sense that one fighter is favored over the other?
All of those things are correct. I think that's what makes it so interesting. Jose Aldo is incredibly talented. He's been incredibly dominant. The only featherweight champion the UFC has ever had. He's beat all the best guys. Economical in the way he moves. Just takes a game built around simplicity. I do these things really, really well, and you cannot stop me, and you will not stop me. And he has been fantastic. All of those things are true. And everything you said about McGregor is also true. He is moving special. He is taking complexity. So his game is built around complexity. Many different looks, many different angles, different ranges, different timings, different kind of flow, different speeds, all of those things. But complexity versus simplicity, how does that work? In theory, simplicity is the game to beat complexity. Sound fundamentals, advanced basics and done to perfection. That's supposedly how you beat complexity. But I'm leaning towards Conor McGregor. He really is enormous. He's like a welterweight. He has one weapon that can turn you off. If he doesn't knock you out with the first straight left hand, he might knock you out with the third, or he'll knock you out with the seventh. It is a real weapon, and that's going to be in play the whole time. His movement, I think, can stifle him. And I'm also taking into account that you get the feeling over time that slowly Jose Aldo is passing the hump of his peak.
Well, you talk about that big weapon of Conor McGregor, the left hand. Is he disguising that? He's making everything complex. You talk about his complicated game, and he's always throwing kicks and movement. But is he just disguising the fact that everything is leading back to that left hand? So in a sense, it is about the simplicity. The most damage with his best weapon, left hand. How can you just guide Jose Aldo back to the most dangerous weapon that you have?
I think that is a lot of what we've seen about him so far is, hey, don't look at this, and bam, just really using complexity to disguise the simplicity. But I think he has fully evolved to a complex fighter now. Although that's still the anchor, there's so much more. He did finish Chad, dropped him with the left, but it was the left kicks to the body. He speared him right in the liver, and he did it repeatedly. Once you catch on that when this is coming, you better watch out for it, well, that's a nice way to camouflage this now. And now once you're worried about those, the left hook comes, and then it sneaks up underneath. He's just got all these tools. He used them really incredibly well. It's beautiful to watch, and the mind is the biggest one for him. And I feel like in the psychic, or in the psychic war that they've had, he's winning that one.
And we've also heard, though, that a lot of the critics say that if Chad Mendes had a full camp, he would have been able to control Conor McGregor. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Maybe it'll happen in the future. And people believe that Conor McGregor's takedown defense isn't where it needs to be right now. But we've also had this conversation that Conor McGregor is not concerned about being taken down. If he accepts that that's a reality, but he does whatever he can to get back up. And over a 25-minute fight, sure, you can take him down a few times, but eventually he's going to get up, you're going to get tired, he's still going to be hitting you with those dangerous weapons, and eventually he'll be able to stuff the takedowns through the later stages of the fight and probably finish whatever opponent's across the cage from him.
That's the game, for sure. It's not like, oh my God, I got taken down. It's like, did you see that? I got taken down a couple of times, and I had him go for his go-to finish everybody with it tool, and I still got up and finished him. You take more away from that fight, from the adversity and overcoming it, than you do find weaknesses. I saw that to be strengths. He'll get taken down, and he'll get back up. Or he'll mouth him off, or he'll elbow him in the head from the bottom. He'll make it so Chad Mendes is a dominant top player. He didn't get to be super dominant against McGregor, and he beat them the whole time. You hit like a bitch. And now, Will that shake Aldo? Aldo is emotional, and he's going to be emotional. And that's what McGregor wants, because he is serene when he fights.
Conor McGregor is saying that he's going to eventually, within the next couple of fights, he's going to become the undisputed 145-pound champion and go up to 155 pounds to claim that title as well. So he's either going to be fighting Rafael dos Anjos or Donald Cerrone. The idea of him and Donald Cerrone, that's big money right there.
You take that one straight to the bank. But he's got to get past Aldo first. In a lot of cases, you look and go, you should never be looking past your opponent. But this guy is different. This guy, in the way that he works psychologically, the way he's built himself up, he's based his confidence on sort of, his own mythology, but also on evidence. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. And that gives you a natural confidence that's always there. I'm going to eat lunch later today. Oh, I ate lunch. Do that, everything in your life. That's easy to do. I'm going to straighten my shirt out. Look, I did it. That's great. But when you start calling rounds when you're going to beat guys, when you start talking about how you're going to beat guys, it'll inflate that confidence to an incredible degree. But some people don't think he can do it. The crew was just telling me that we've got footage of Joe Riggs saying that if Conor McGregor beats Jose Aldo, Joe Riggs will cut his own dick off and throw it away. That's what he said.
That is what he said.
That's what he said.
That's verbatim.
That's verbatim. That's what Joe Riggs said to our camp.
And I think Joe Riggs knows a thing or two about fighting. He's been around this game for a long time. But
don't be cutting anything off.
Hold your horses there, fella. Conor McGregor's actually pretty good. Of course, the middleweight championship of the world on the line. Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold. And we're going to talk about that fight a lot. But right now, I think we've been neglecting this 185-pound matchup between Jacare and Yoel Romero. And I think if you follow jiu-jitsu, all the jiu-jitsu guys out there, they're like, oh, Jacare's the guy. He's going to be the next middleweight champion of the world. You look at his skills, they're remarkable. You look at how much he's improved in the stand-up department. He's got that ridiculous power. Yoel Romero, known for his wrestling background, but he's been showing improvements in the striking as well. Are these guys just going to slug it out?
They might. They definitely might. And Jacare is very good on the feet, very crafty and smart, and he sets traps for you. And if you see them coming, you hesitate, and then he just drills you. Into our lexicon, the drug test guys have introduced the ideas of the smell test. Like if you look too good, they're going to test you like crazy.
Dudes.
Both these guys look amazing, and I'd love to be able to walk the beach with a body like that in my lifetime, which I will never do. But that doesn't mean
no sandwiches,
no bread. That doesn't mean these guys have ever done any drugs. But if one of them looks a lot different going into this fight, bet your money on the other guy.
And remember, all the action goes down in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have got you covered. 3 preview shows, and then, of course, after UFC 194, we have the post-fight show, including the post-fight press conference for Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo. All the action starts on December 10th.
If that would have been, if Chad would have had a full training camp, he would have killed him. So it makes me sick that the fact that the guy is a guy who's been considered the pound best fighter on the planet, and he's underdog against this guy who is no way. I mean, if he beats him, I'll cut my own dick off and throw it away. I mean, it makes me sick.
This program is brought to you by Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, available December 1st, 2015.
The thing about Gary Goodrich, he never backed down from anybody.
Early in the morning, the problems started with fighters being arrested.
They were filling the Bell Center at the height of TKO with some of the best fighters in Canadian history.
It was an eye-opener that Canadians could do this.
You knew immediately there was something special.
And you just looked around and you went, holy, how are we going to do this?